A very good evening, students. This is going to be our lecture 3 of Indian geography. So today in this class what we are going to cover is Himalayas, okay? So today we are going to study Himalayas on the basis of their regional divisions. So today's topic is Himalayas. Okay, Himalayas. So on the basis of regional divisions, we generally classify Himalayas into 5 categories. So the first one is Kashmir Himalayas, Kashmir Himalayas, then number 2 is Uttarakhand and Himachal Himalayas, Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas, number 4 is Arunachal Himalayas, then number 5 is Northeastern Himalayas. So these are the 5 subdivisions of Himalayas on the basis of region, okay? So first is Kashmir Himalayas, then second one is Uttarakhand and Himachal Himalayas, third one is Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas, fourth is Arunachal Himalayas, and then fifth is Northeastern Himalayas. So today in this class we are going to discuss all these Himalayan divisions briefly, okay? So starting with the Kashmir Himalayas. Okay, so in the Kashmir Himalayas, first of all we notice some of the important ranges, okay? So in the Kashmir Himalayas, important ranges So in the Kashmir Himalayas, we notice the Pir Panjal range, the Jhaskar range, the Ladakh range, the Karakoram range. These are the ranges which are found in the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. Okay? So what are the ranges? Pir Panjal, Jhaskar, Ladakh and Karakoram. So these are the important ranges which are found in the Kashmir Himalayas, okay? And in the Kashmir Himalayas we notice some of the freshwater lakes and some saline water lakes. So there are 2 freshwater lakes which are situated in the Kashmir Himalayas. Freshwater lakes, number 1 is Dal Lake and number 2 is Wular Lake. So these are the two freshwater lakes which are generally found in the Kashmir Himalayas, and saline water lakes. So Pangong, So and So Moriri are the two saline water lakes which are found in the Kashmir Himalayas. Okay. And other than these features, we also notice some of the important passes in these Himalayan ranges. Okay. So what are the important passes? The Banihal Pass, the Fotula Pass. Okay. So these are the important passes which we notice in these ranges. So what are the passes? Banihal Pass, Fotula Pass, Khardungla Pass. Okay. So these are the passes which we notice in these regions, and in these regions we will also find some of the important pilgrimage centers. Okay. So pilgrimage centers we also found in these regions. So what are the pilgrimage centers we notice in these regions are Vaishno Devi, Amarnath Cave, okay, Vaishno Devi, Amarnath Cave, Chharar-e-Sharif. So these are the important pilgrimage centers. Okay. And one of the most important features of the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas is the formation of Karewas. Okay. Karewas formation. So Karewas formation are very important feature of Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. So what are Karewas? Karewas are the thick deposits of glacial clay which are embedded with the moraines. Okay. So what are Karewas? They are the thick deposits okay. So Karewas are the thick deposits of glacial clay which are embedded with the moraines. And why are Karewas useful? Karewas are useful for the cultivation of saffron. Okay. So there is a question that why they are useful. So the answer is they are useful Okay, they are useful for the cultivation of saffron. So saffron, so what is saffron? So saffron is the local variety of saffron, okay, which is found in the Kashmir Himalayas. So what is saffron? A local variety of saffron. Okay, so saffron is what? It is a local variety of saffron which is found in the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. So this is very important, Kareva's formation. Okay, this is a very important feature of Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. Now in the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas, we notice the valley of Kashmir. Okay, there is also important feature which we notice in this region is the famous valley of Kashmir. Okay, the famous valley of Kashmir is also noticed in these areas. Now, the Srinagar, which is the capital city of Jammu and Kashmir, is situated on the banks of the river Jhelum. Okay, and the river Jhelum, which forms a very distinctive features at its mature stage. Okay, the feature which is forms is formation of meanders. Actually, meander is the process which is a type of landform, and it generally takes in the mature stage or in the old stage, but Jhelum is an exception. Okay, the river Jhelum forms meander in its young stage. So this is the exception case. So Jhelum forms meander in its youthful stage. Okay, it forms meander in its youthful stage. And Jhelum is the tributary of which river? It is the tributary of river Indus. Okay, tributary of river Indus. So these are the important points of the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. So let us recap. So first of all, we studied about the ranges. So what are the important ranges? The Pir Panjal range, the Ladakh range, the Jhaskar range, the Karakoram range. Okay, so these are the important ranges which are found in the Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas. Then we studied the passes. Okay, the Banihal Pass, the Fotula Pass, the Khardungla Pass. After that, we studied about some of the important pilgrimage centers like Amarnath Cave, Vaishno Devi, Chharar-e-Sharif. Then we studied the Karevas formation. What are Karevas? They are the glacial deposits which are embedded with the moraines, and they are useful for the cultivation of saffron. And what is saffron? So saffron is the local variety of saffron which is generally found in the Kashmir Himalayas. Then we studied about the Jhelum, okay, river Jhelum. So now moving to our next Himalayas, which is our Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas. Okay, coming to our Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas. So Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas. So in the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas, what we notice that in the west it is drawn by the river Ravi, and in the east it is drawn by the river Kali. Okay, वेस्ट में हमें कौन सी रिवर देखने को मिलती है? वेस्ट में हमें देखने को मिलती है रिवर रावी. ओके, एंड इन द ईस्ट रिवर काली. ओके, So Ravi is the tributary of which river? It is a tributary of river Indus. Okay, and Kali is the tributary of river Ghaghra. Okay. Now, the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas are majorly formed by the two river systems, which are Indus and Ganga. Okay, they are majorly formed by the two river systems, which are Ganga and Indus. Ganga and Indus. And the tributaries which are included in it are tributaries of Ganga, so Ghaghra and Yamuna. Then in the Indus, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. Okay, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. So these are the tributaries of river Indus and river Ganga, which flows in the Uttarakhand and Himachal Himalayas. Okay, in the Uttarakhand and Himachal Himalayas, all the three Himalayan ranges are prominent. Okay. So all the three Himalayan ranges are prominent. And what are the three Himalayan ranges? The first one is Himadri, then Himachal and Shivalik. Okay. Himachal is also known by Lesser Himalayas. And Himadri is also known by Greater Himalayas. Okay. Then the Lesser Himalayas are also known by the local names. Okay. They are known by the local names at different places. They are known by the names of Dhauladhar in Uttarakhand, and by the names they are known by the name of Dhauladhar in Himachal Pradesh, and by Uttarakhand by Nagtibha. Okay. Dhauladhar in Himachal Pradesh, and Nagtibha in Uttarakhand. Okay. So they are known by the name of Dhauladhar in Himachal Pradesh and by the Nagtibha in Uttarakhand. Okay. So these are what? These are the local names of Lesser Himalayas. Okay. Local names of Lesser Himalayas. And in the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas, we also notice some of the important places, which are some of the hill stations and some of the cantonment areas. So, what are the places? Mussoorie, Shimla, Almora, etc. Okay. Then in this region, which is the most important point which you should remember is dunes formation. Okay. Dunes formation. Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas, we notice mini dunes, okay, like Pathankot dune, like you notice Dehra dune, then Harike dune, okay. So these are the some of the dunes which we notice in these Himalayan ranges. Dehradun, okay. So Dehradun, Harike dune, Pathankot dune, then Kalke dune. So these are some of the dunes which we notice in these Himalayan ranges, okay. And Dehradun is one of the largest dune, okay. Dehradun is the largest dune, okay, and with length 35 to 45 kilometers and width 22 to 25 kilometers, okay. So this is the length and width of the Dehradun. Length is 35 to 45 and width is 22 to 25 kilometers, okay. So Dehradun is one of the largest dunes. Now, the northern part of these Himalayan ranges is majorly inhabited by the Bhotia tribe, okay. Okay, so northern part of this Himalayas is majorly inhabited by the Bhotia tribe, okay, and these Bhotia tribe migrate to summer grasslands. They migrate to summer grasslands. And summer grasslands are known as Bhugyals, okay. They migrate to summer grasslands and summer grasslands are known as Bhugyals, okay. And they return to their valleys in winter. Okay, they return to their valleys in winter. So in the northern Himalayas, in the northern part of the Uttarakhand and Himachal Himalayas, we find that the area is majorly dominated by the Bhotia tribe, okay, and Bhotia tribes majorly they migrate to the summer grasslands in the summer season, and the summer grasslands are known as Bhugyals, okay, and they return to their valleys in winter. So these are their life cycle, that they move to the summer grasslands in the summer time and then they return to their valleys in winter. So these are the two Himalayas which we studied, which is the first one is Jammu and Kashmir Himalayas, then Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas. So in the Himachal and Uttarakhand Himalayas, what we notice is the two major river systems, that is Ganga and Indus. Their tributaries are Ravi, Beas and Satluj, which are the tributaries of Indus, and Ghagra and Yamuna are the tributaries of Ganga, which are flowing in these Himalayan ranges. After this, we notice the dune formations, okay. the Pathankot Dune, the Dehradun, and we notice that the Dehradun is the largest dune, okay, and its length is 35 to 45 kilometers and width is 22 to 25 kilometers. Then we notice the Bhugyals. What are Bhugyals? So Bhugyals are nothing but they are the summer grasslands, okay. What are they? They are the summer grasslands, okay. And Bhotia is the tribe which migrate to Bhugyals, okay. They migrate to Bhugyals in summer time and they return to their valleys in the winter, okay. So these are the two topics of the Himalayas which we have covered in this lecture, and rest of the topics we are going to cover in our lecture 4, okay. So thank you.